the powerful energy projector who just so happened to be related to Cyclops, but also at times looks or reminds me of Black Bolt. Don't lie. The Inhuman, yep. Similar to how Black Bolt got done in the movies where his mouth got sealed up, let's just say Havok had to deal with this too, and he just coincidentally reminds me of Black Bolt by his outfit too. Havok said, I'm gonna pierce my skin open so I can talk still though. How mighty is he? He's a being that doesn't specialize in physical strength, but his energy projection makes up for it. I mean, if we're being honest, his physical muscle doesn't matter when he can amplify his punches with energy anyway. So just like, yeah, he's done that. So punch with his energy or blast, it doesn't matter. Anyway, when it comes to his blast power, I almost feel bad for these group of humans. Blast hard enough to launch Captain America, they get launched. Look at these people getting launched. Blast back young Jean Grey, cybernetic beings, he can blast away. He can bust brick walls. Low on energy can bust down this prison wall. Another one. Against opponents, we see him crack walls. Tear up the pavement. His blasts aren't just blunt power like Cyclops, but he can actually blast with heat. That's why he can melt guns and knives. Can melt a car. Blast through a tree. These poor brick walls he can blast through. Look at the big things he can launch in the air, regardless of their size. Apocalypse Amped Banshee he can withstand hits from. Banshee, stop screaming at him. Hit and engrave to the ground he can take. Grenades he can withstand. Beings that are completely coated in adamantium he can withstand hits from. Helicopters are not ready. Not even metal planes are safe. Characters like Sabretooth, he can cook. There's no doubt his blast can blow your house away. Because we've seen his focused blasts are shown to do similar stuff right here when it comes to messing up houses or facilities. You can see how he can just blast through all this stuff. His blast can be so hot that it turns the ground into glass. And the crazy part is that he can shoot in all directions, area of effect at the same time. Or focus with so much energy, make a crater this thick and prove that he can pretty much blast away buildings. Satellites. We've seen his blast bust. Large tidal waves, his blast can stop or help stop, making a wall of force. Blast can bring down an actual White House, can not only blast his way in the space station, but can also destroy the space station. Occasions like this kind of implied as well. Size means nothing. Look at the size of this creature. That's clearly taller than some buildings. We see him blast. I wouldn't be surprised if he could just wipe out your whole block with his blast power, honestly. Based on the hierarchy of power he's in and the characters he's battling or blasting, damaging, there's implications he's scarier than any nuclear bomb ever. Because you guys know I have a high respect for Colossus. Colossus is hitting these beings. Havok just says, oh, I'm going to incinerate them. Sentinels, he can handle. Sentinels are known to be able to take on mutant type beings. Havok doesn't care. Yeah. Y'all probably tired of me bringing up Sentinels when it comes to Havok blowing them apart. You could just nuke the Sentinels. Poor Sentinels. Yeah, I know y'all tired of it, but he can devastate, blast Sentinels apart, especially their arms. You see them fight multiple Sentinels together. There's implications he's a planet-shattering type being, just like a lot of Marvel powerhouses, the way he does Kang, the way his blasts affect beings, like Banshee that are amplified by Apocalypse. It's the way Juggernaut reacts to his blast to me that kind of proves his blast power. If you're not convinced of his planet-shattering type of blast power, how can you not when he's damaging beings like Gladiator, beings that have planet-pulverizing type power, durability, you name it, somebody that can make a planet a corpse, beings that can punch planets away, beings that we visually see do this kind of stuff, beings that have straight up narration that can wrestle planets from their orbits and collapse stars with their bare hands. Their body can withstand collapsing stars. Don't forget how small a planet like Earth is compared to something like a sun. Oh, if you think this is BS, we've actually seen Havok contain something that was an actual black hole. You see him in the background doing all of this, containing all of this energy. And for those thinking, oh, can we prove that he was holding back something that was very, very destructive? Yes, we can, because they was talking about how if they didn't, then the entire planet might collapse into him. So he was containing something that was planet threatening, further showing why his blast power is absurd and why him blasting damaging Gladiator isn't something that should be overlooked. It's literally accurate. His blasts are damaging beings like Gladiator, beings whose bodies can withstand black holes and tear them apart with his hands and stuff. So saying he's an earth-shattering being is an oversimplification. Saying he's a sun-shatterer seems more appropriate with ease, really, based on the beings he's fighting. We literally seen him contain a black hole. He was literally the reason why everybody wasn't getting sucked in by the black hole. This is like a raw power feed, or you could say an energy absorption type feed. He can absorb a ton of energy. He can absorb energy that produces energy that can destroy planets and stuff. And then if worse comes to worse, he can always just absorb energy to even get even stronger, to blast with even more force. So yes, Havok can do the things Superman characters or Kryptonians do, can amplify himself by jumping in the sun. Yeah, Havok can technically do the same thing too. Jump in the sun, absorb that power. gain more power, thanks to him absorbing that power, increase his own blast power to where he's even a scarier character or a scarier fighter than before. Against Vulcan, simply saying Havok can destroy suns, large planets, and the solar system is technically an oversimplification at this point. Based on all these beings he can damage with his blast, we've seen him blast other powerhouses in Marvel like Iceman, Magneto, Apocalypse, and the Hulk himself. Somebody that's durable enough to withstand a star being on his back, aka plenty enough energy to destroy a planet. How many characters do you know that have legit blast power feats of freaking knocking out the Hulk? He focused it into a thin layer of energy to the point where it actually knock out the Hulk. That's an incredible feat. Hulk can withstand universe destruction type of attacks or collapse. Even if he's the one producing, his body can be an epicenter of the attack. I'm just giving you a perspective on who Havok is knocking out, y'all. Beings that can blast away dimensions with their hits. Being the epicenter of it, their body can withstand this kind of stuff. Durability-wise, Hulk, this might sound absurd to you, but this is the kind of stuff Marvel characters do. Havok being implied to be able to do major damage to knock out beings on this level of power. Hey, the scan said it, not me. He already has this kind of blast power, and just imagine the fact that since he's an energy manipulator or energy absorber type character, we see him slowing down Hulk here. You see the Hulk trying to move forward. He can kind of use Hulk in a way to power up. Like he's kind of like a good kryptonite against a Hulk type character because he's using these gamma rays. It's energies he's constantly absorbing. He's using his own energy against him, really. And in Havok's opinion at this moment, if he doesn't surrender, he could possibly murk him, in his opinion. So you know those stories where heroes get hulked out? I guess you could say Havok can always do this as long as gamma energy is near him. He can absorb it, use it against the opponent. You can argue he's an anti-gamma type character or being. You would think getting hit by the Hulk would be it, right? But his blast still damage him though. And all this raw power, it's even talked about how Havok can draw the unlimited power from the cosmic rays around them. So it makes sense about this universe type power. How many characters do you know can blast or melt through adamantium? Yo, this is none of my business, but hey, it looks like he could damage a mind control Thor. Base Thor, beings that can hit hard enough and shake the whole cosmos or universe, beings that are durable enough to be in the epicenter of Big Bang-like eruptions, beings that can withstand being in the middle of energy that erupt simultaneously across all planes of reality. Thor tier beings are durable enough to withstand this kind of stuff, and Havok is implied to be able to damage him. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, he was able to damage Hulk, so Hulk and Thor are always matching each other blow for blow. Durability, punches, whatever, it doesn't matter. Durability of these two are very similar. He's blasting, knocking out, damaging the kind of beings that can shake different planes or all different planes of reality at the same time. Beings that can shake the universe with their hits, their durability can withstand Big Bang type stuff. These are the kind of beings he's damaging, y'all. Thor, Hulkish type beings. We can all agree that Mr. Sinister is a powerhouse. Havok said, I don't care if a whole bunch of your clones come together. I'm just going to charge up all my energy, even though you're a giant Mr. Sinister. I'm just going to blast you apart willy-nilly. And that's that. Him being this powerful makes sense. He is the younger brother of Cyclops, somebody that's also a decent energy projector type character. As a child, his history, you can see this yourself. He survived the plane crash just like Cyclops. The plane crash killed his parents. Him and Scott, Cyclops, were separated. He's went through his fair share of adventures as time went by. That's why you see the different uniforms. All of this stuff is kind of linked. He didn't have as much control of his power, but he ended up getting better. Yeah, speaking of his power, in his lore, he's been captured. He later got the nickname Havok, joined the X-Men, blah, blah, blah. But all this information about his versatile abilities isn't lying. I mean, if you made it this far in the video, you know he's an energy projector. He absorbs ambient cosmic energy, such as stellar energy, star energy, X-rays, gamma radiation into his bodily cells, metabolizes it, and then releases it as a wave of plasma energy. You could say this is part of his training at getting better as time goes by. At first, purposely, his energy would emanate in all directions unless he purposely channels them in a single direction, getting better at controlling his power and such. But yeah, just like this handbook says, when it comes to him and Cyclops, since they're very similar, just like the other brother Vulcan, it's actually pointless for two energy projectors like his brother and himself to fight. They're immune to each other's power. They just make each other stronger, absorbing each other's energies. It's even mentioned in recent comics on how they can't hurt each other. He wears different outfits, special outputs for his power output, stored in his body. And yes, this is the costume that helps him direct his power. Physical muscle isn't what he specializes in, but just like Cyclops, he has been trained in hand-to-hand combat. Occasions like this prove it when he just decides to throw hands. It's proven that if Havok has to, him or Cyclops both can kind of throw hands. Obviously, Havok can't be slow. I mean, look who his brother is, Cyclops. We've seen Cyclops fist fight with Daredevil. Daredevil himself is not slow. Somebody like Daredevil can literally dodge actual lightning from super beings that have the power to project lightning and stuff. Daredevil's also the same guy that can react in a microsecond, y'all, aka 1 millionth of a second. So these characters like Cyclops or Havok vice versa, matching Daredevil's fighting speed, that should tell you a lot about Havok. Because believe it or not, we've actually seen Havok keep up with Cyclops in combat speed in a fist fight, and he's not slow in comparison. You see what I mean? Most of these characters, even though it doesn't make sense to you, a lot of these characters are literally quicker than lightning itself to where they can dodge actual lightning. I mean, if you want to be technical, we technically seen Havok react to Cyclops' blasts, which are actually consistently portrayed or stated to be the speed of light. So, yeah, this is not really a shock for these characters to be able to react to this kind of stuff. Havok's a powerhouse in Marvel. It makes sense. So, similar to Cyclops, at the very least, lowballing him, he's quicker than lightning, can react in a microsecond, 1/1,000,000th of a second, and can react at light speeds at the very least. Energy absorbers are the scariest type of characters. You can literally start off stronger than the character, but then they can get an energy source nearby. You can give them more energy, and then they can kind of change tiers in power temporarily. It's kind of like the same concept when you see on how Silver Surfer is already strong in his base form, but then he can just go in the sun, absorb the sun, and amp himself up that easily. That's why energy absorbers or energy manipulators are scary, because that's what Havok can do. You can literally think you're about to murk him, throw him in the sun, and then it's your downfall for throwing him in the sun. And the thing about his energy projection, it goes for everything. Not only can he fly, but he can increase his durability with his shielding. So whatever his energy or blast power is, it should go for his durability via shielding and such. Durability isn't what he shines in, because if you catch him without his shields or nothing up like that, no energy projection, you can technically stab him, you can say. What are your thoughts? Do you think he's mightier than Cyclops? Go ahead and hype the video up. Like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications. Thanks for the donations, y'all. I'm glad you are enjoying your time on the channel. Make sure you check out the playlist on the channel to see other How Strong videos. If you like what this channel is offering, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys later.